What's going on, you guys? Mutant Florida Man, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Superior Spider-Man Marvel celebrating 85 years. As you can see on the back of the box here, this is what the Spider-Man looks like in the comics. The story behind Superior Spider-Man is that Peter Parker and Dr. Octopus switch bodies, and at the time, Doc Ock was dying and his body was decaying. So Peter basically dies in Doc Ock's body, and Doc Ock decides to become the next Spider-Man, and he decides that he's the superior Spider-Man, and that's kind of where that comic goes.
If I were a rich man, all day long I'd biddy biddy bum. If I were a wealthy man.
Which is kind of interesting because it has me interested now because I've never really known the story until I kind of did a little bit of research because I thought this guy looked awesome. And if you play Spider-Man games, you know you get a lot of suits and stuff, so...
That man's an imposter! That man is the imposter!
You got a lot of costumes of Spider-Man, basically. But anyway, on the side of the box, you can see another shot of Superior Spider-Man there with some buildings reflecting in his eyes, which is kind of what I'm going to get to when we open this guy because I was confused with the head sculpt at first. I was confused as to why they... had it like that, but now when I get him out of the package, I'll be able to explain why it looks like that.
1 minute later.
First impressions out of the box, I noticed there is a lot of articulation with Superior Spider-Man because I'm impressed. At $30.99 on Big Bad Toy Store, this guy has a lot. So let's go ahead and look at all the accessories that he comes with. Starting with the Iron Claws, he comes with 4 of these, obviously, and they do articulate. I'm going to go ahead and cover the articulation on these because obviously it's an accessory, but they do go forward and backward on all sections. They're split into 4 sections. So they go, well, this one doesn't really go down. It depends. They can go down, obviously, but it depends on how far they hinder by, like, you can see the sculpt there. But, I mean, they do have some articulation in them. So I wouldn't say they're fully articulated back and forth, but, I mean, because of, like I said, because of the sculpt. But yeah, that's what the Iron Claws look like up close. Up next, I'm going to go ahead and just cover all these hands real quick. As you can see on Spider-Man right now, there are some fists right there. And then he comes with wall-crawling hands, I'm guessing. I'm going to say those are wall-crawling hands. Tell me if I'm wrong.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
And then he comes with web-shooting hands. I mean, those are some great hands for posing. I gotta say, you got fists for, like, fighting, you got wall crawling, and then you got web shooting. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Can't say that there's nothing wrong with that. They did everything that I think they should do for hand accessories on that one.
Nice.
But anyway, on to the extra head sculpt you get. This is a basic head sculpt here. As you can see, black stripes. It almost looks like a regular Spider-Man head, almost. You could probably pass this off as just a regular Spider-Man head. I'm not sure. You guys tell me. Obviously, it is regular Spider-Man because it's still Peter Parker. It's just Doc Ock in his body. It's not like a different character underneath the suit. You know, like you have Ben Reilly or Miles Morales, or maybe the suit was just modified from the waist down by Doc Ock. Who knows? I'd have to read the comics still, but yeah, there's the regular Spider-Man head. Up next, he comes with 2 different backpacks that you can put on the back of him. He comes with one where you can peg the claws in, and then one without nothing. So, which is actually nice, because maybe I don't want to show him with the claws, but I mean, obviously, I'm showing him with the claws, so we're using that backpack. Anyway, the next accessory he comes with, obviously, is the head sculpt. The one with the buildings reflecting in it, which I think is pretty cool. At first, when I saw this in the box, I was confused. I thought it was supposed to be like a reflective look, but if you look, no, it's supposed to actually represent a building, but up close, it almost just looks like they streak stuff in there. But now I get it, and I actually like it. I think it's actually cool. So in terms of articulation, I'm probably going to forget something because there's a lot, but I'm going to go over it. So basically, the head can pivot all the way back because of the hinge in the neck. Then you can rotate the neck all the way around. I feel like every action figure does that though. But yeah, in terms of the arms, he goes up and down at the shoulder. He can also extend outward at the shoulder, and you can bend him at the elbow. You can also rotate here at the bicep. Then you can rotate the wrist, and they also kind of go like this. They go inward and then rotate the hand. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, that's pretty much it in terms of the articulation in the arm. Then you can do an ab crunch. You can rotate. And then in terms of the leg, you can move him up and down at the thigh. You can rotate at the thigh. You can actually bend at the knee. Then you can rotate at the calf. In terms of the foot, it rotates. Actually, the foot does not rotate, but it does bend up and down, and the toes also bend. So yeah, articulation on this guy is pretty good. I'd say that there's so many poses that you're going to be able to do with this, and I'm going to try to recreate a few, but I'm going to go ahead and show this guy with the claws and kind of get a little bit of a full look at this guy and what he's supposed to look like. So here he is with the claws. I'm not a poser at all. I cannot pose with no iron claws. This is the first time I've ever had iron claws on a Spider-Man before. And so yeah, do not expect a pose out of me. But anyway, that was what the iron claws look like. Then you can peg the backpack with no claws, so you can kind of give him the full effect here. He's a pretty cool this way. I kind of prefer no iron claw pose, actually.
Oh, really?
Here's the wall crawling hands. As you guys can see, it does look like he's wall crawling, which is pretty cool. Nothing much to say about that. I mean, I would pose him if I could. If I knew how to really make these claws pose at the moment, because I'm going to have to spend more time with it, I would pose him to the sense that he would, you know, kind of be flattened out here. I'm just not a poser, so don't expect a pose out of me.
Emotional damage!
But you guys can kind of run wild with your creativity and imagine how you would pose him. But yeah, in terms of paint on this guy, he looks pretty good. After understanding the whole concept with the eyes, really there's not much to be said about the paint because this guy is an awesome action figure. I would give this guy a 9 out of 10. I would say that everything I want, besides the fact that I understand the iron claws, and that's probably my fault. You guys are probably going to laugh at me for that. You're going to be like, wait, you don't understand how to pose them up? And well, the thing is, I've never had iron claws, and they're kind of interesting the way they pose because, you know, you can just kind of see the way they bend. They don't go far. Like, I don't know, it almost looks like it doesn't bend that way. I feel like I just don't want to break it. I never want to break anything, you know? I'm a collector myself, so I don't want to break anything until I understand it fully. But yeah, if I understood how to pose those claws, I would have a lot of poses going on with these wall crawling hands. But anyway, in terms of paint, after understanding what's going on with the head, I have no paint complaint. There's nothing wrong with this guy at all. He looks amazing. He's like the Amazing Spider-Man, but then again, he's a superior Spider-Man. When it comes to size comparison on Superior Spider-Man, you can see how he scales up here to Red Hulk, Miles Morales. I mean, overall, the scale's pretty good. I'd say for 6 inches, this guy is pretty tall compared to Miles, obviously. But Miles is a teenager, so obviously you can see how Miles would compare to Red Hulk versus Superior Spider-Man. But yeah, overall, I think they did a pretty good scale of this guy. I don't know. I'm sure that he's about 5'5", 6 foot. I'm not sure what this guy is. I'd say 5'5", 5'6", somewhere around that. Peter Parker's not that tall, so I don't know how to give this scale a proper, accurate, you know, if it's right there where it needs to be. And here he is in terms of scale with the Red Hulk and the claws out. I mean, as you can see, the claws are pretty huge. As you can see, the claws are pretty spread out wide, as you can see. So if you're putting them on the shelf with the claws, expect a lot of room to be taken up. I mean, depending on how you pose them. But yeah, other than that, that's the scale of Superior Spider-Man.
I gotta tell you, it was perfect. Perfect. Everything, down to the last minute details.
And with that being said, I rate the Superior Spider-Man a 9 out of 10. I can't give every action figure a 10, so this guy's getting a 9 out of 10 in my book. Gotta say, though, I like the design of this guy. I like how much articulation you get. And the price point is unbeatable. So, I'll see you guys in the next video. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. Adios.